Hey everyone, it's John Barrett with Level Up Your Leadership, where I'm going to help you with a visual leadership lesson so that you can be your best. I want to talk about the power of no. Now, you have got to get this into your vocabulary as a leader. If you don't understand the word no, you are going to limit your effectiveness. Listen, no is not about resistance. It's not about letting people down. It's not about all that stuff that we associate with the word no. This is strategic. Now, let me give you kind of a thought here about what no really stands for, because no in my book is kind of an acronym for this: navigating opportunities. Opportunities. That's what no is. Navigating opportunities. And if you don't learn how to navigate opportunities, you are going to get caught up in being distracted, on losing your way because you're not navigating right. So many opportunities are going to come at you. You know all the demands that you've got, all the responsibilities, everything that you got going on personally, professionally, all of that. If you don't learn the power of no, you're not going to navigate opportunity well. You're just going to be guessing. You're going to be kind of thinking, okay, what should I say yes to? What should I say no to? What makes sense? And if you're not careful, you're just going to kind of manage your life and barely keep your head above water trying to navigate opportunity, but you're going to miss. Because navigating opportunity in no is a strategic word. It's not just a reactive word. It is a strategic word, because here's what you've got to understand. That when you say yes to any opportunity that comes your way, when you say yes, here's what you're actually saying: no to something else that you could be doing. So for every yes that you agree to, you are saying no to something else. Now, that is really good if what you're saying no to is something of lower value for you to be working on. So you're saying yes to the better opportunities that are going to help you move along and be more successful and help others and everything that you need to do to move forward. But if you're saying yes to things that are not in your most important activity, your highest value activities, then all of a sudden now you're going to be saying no to those. So you're going to be saying yes to opportunities that aren't moving you forward. They're just barely keeping your head above the water. And you're going to say no to all the great things you could be doing. So you have to understand what's at stake. What's at stake is not just being a resistant person or kind of being this, prideful person that says no to other people or unhelpful or whatever it is. That's not what you're doing. When you say no to something that comes your way, it's because you're trying to say yes to something else that you're able to do that's going to add more impact, more value, and move things forward. So you have to understand that for every yes that you say, you're equally saying no to something else every time. There's an opportunity cost that is huge right here. So I want you to think about this in your leadership. What are you saying yes to right now? Whether it's projects, things that you're getting involved in, people's time of always needing you in that. And yes, I know you got to be available. I know you want to be helpful. I know you want to be a team player. I get all that. But in the name of all those things, you can actually become less valuable in what you do because you're saying to yes to all these things that are distracting you from all the things you should be saying yes to. And so now you're saying no to those great opportunities. And you're not navigating opportunity well. You're actually all over the place and you're super busy, but at the end of the day, you don't feel like you're moving forward. You've got to get fanatical about understanding how to strategically say no. Let me give you some thoughts about this. Number one is when you are trying to decide whether you should say yes or no to something, you've got to run it through your highest value activities. Is this something that is going to support the mission, move things forward, where you need to be spending your time? It's the most important thing that you could be doing for that time frame. You've got to run it through that filter of purpose, of meaning, of highest value activity. Does this make sense? And if it doesn't, you got to say no because you're navigating opportunity. You're not just being mean or resistant. You're saying yes to something else. And you got to protect that time. So you've got to say no. So run it through that filter of kind of purpose. Second thing I want you to think about is this. Don't let guilt guide your yeses. Too many times we just feel guilty. We feel like, oh, I should be helpful. Oh my gosh, I want to be helpful and all that. And we let guilt, we let all that stuff cause us to say yes when we should be saying no. That is going to sabotage your productivity. It's going to sabotage your success because every time you say yes, you're saying no to something else. So you got to just get over the guilt. I know that's easier said than done, but you got to give yourself permission to navigate opportunities. Third thing I want you to think about is this: delay your response. When people ask you to do something, right, don't be so quick right then to say yes or no and that. Sometimes a no can feel a little bit like, oh gosh, I'm trying to be real aggressive here and that. But you also don't want to say yes, but you get guilted into it. Here's a great tip: just delay. Just say, you know what, I need to think about that. Let me look at my calendar. Let me look at my priorities. Let me look at everything else we've got going on. And then let me get back to you and determine if I'm going to be able to help you. Because I want to be helpful. I want to be able to get what you need. But I have to just make sure that I'm able to commit to that. So whatever it is that you've got to say, delay it. That's okay. Have your go-to phrases that you go to when somebody asks you about something. Instead of just saying yes or no really quick, kind of delay it and say, hey, let me get back to you a little bit. Give me some context of what you're looking for. This is how you can kind of eliminate some of that guilt. You can kind of show that you're leaning in. You're trying to figure out what's going on genuinely and truly, because you've got to decide if it falls into a yes or a no. It's that decision tree, so to speak. And how do you do that? You filter it. You don't let guilt guide you. You all of a sudden now begin to say, let me delay that so that you can process this in the right time, so that after you've kind of navigated this and said, okay, this makes sense, it is something that I'm going to say yes to. Okay, yes, let's do it. Or you filtered it here, you've delayed it, you follow up with them and you say, you know what, unfortunately, I'm going to have to put that off right now or say no to that because of the other things I've got going on. And then you just own whatever that is. So I'm telling you, this is super helpful for you. I just want to challenge you because I see so many leaders that are just having such a hard time doing it. And the softer your personality is, and the more you want to be helpful and be a team player, the more you get caught into this. And I'm telling you, it's one of the most powerful words in your vocabulary as a leader is the word no. Not because you're trying to be resistant, not because you're trying to do anything negative, but because you're navigating opportunity. If you'll do this, you're going to be more successful in what you do. Now go get the group guide where you can talk about this with your team, watch this video, talk about how do we get more focused on what we do and allow everybody in our team to say no. So there's group questions, all kinds of things that you can do to go through this, to talk about this and get it out in the open so that you can all be on the same page. So go to johnbarrettleadership.com and check that out right now. Reach out to us today so we can help take you and your team to the next level.